This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map, Infinity Isle 4, a classic 1v1 as the Blue Empire on the right side. This is 11. And as the Yellow Soviets on the left side, this is Dimon. Quick disclaimer right up front, both of these guys are basically playing on barcodes, so I'm going with the Soviets as Dimon because he plays Soviets a lot, and he tends to choose yellow, but it's very possible that Dimon is actually the Blue Empire player. I'm just, kind of hedging my bets here with the knowledge that I may actually be wrong. Anyways, War Factory before Second Refinery, so very defensive, cautious play here from Dimon. He's going to get out his first terror drone, and, the Mecha Bay deployed on the low ground. There we go. I was wondering if it was actually going to head its way up to the high ground, but no, he actually deploys next to one of the open... Oh my gosh, he's chasing with the bear, but no, he does get the walls anyways. So this terror drone is not going to necessarily be as effective as Dimon would like. It's not going to get him an early kill. The Mecha Bay is close enough that even if he gets the infect over here, he's still going to be able to get it repaired in time. And actually, wall's coming up anyways, just to save that harvester any additional consternation. Tengu gets grabbed right from the start. And right into it with some very early aggression from Dimon coming in here, going to be able to lock down one of those Mecha Tengus with the stasis there, and now the sickle is going to get overwhelmed, but at least it's going to escape 3 Tengus. It's just going to be the 2 Tengus attacking it. Terror Drone tried to cause some problems here. Lovely micro there from Dimon, forcing the sell-off of those walls, and it looks like the sickle will be able to escape for a couple of moments longer. Not necessarily going to be able to do anything with that, but he will escape for a couple moments longer. He's going to try desperately to get the jump back onto the high ground, but it's not going to work. Wall swag coming up for 11. This might actually be a pretty heavy commitment. He's going for not a fast third refinery, but a relatively quick third refinery. It's not a delay on the third refinery by any means. And the wall segment's coming up. Eminence, a player from many years ago, developed this build where he would basically go fast 3 refineries, and he would, because all of his units would be so late out of the War Factory, he would just delay with walls. And it was a really funny strat to see, and it actually did, it worked a decent amount. You'd be able to get up to that 3 refinery income relatively safely, and the walls are just so annoying to deal with. You got to cut a path. It's going to be only 1 unit wide at first, unless you want to take out wider segments, and that just takes even longer. So it's a strategy that can actually work. Super reactor up and running, third refinery up as well. It's going to be a naval yard on the low ground for Dimon, and then that's going to be in close proximity to the Empire base. So he's not going for the backwater expansion away from his opponent. And these wall segments just keep coming. He can actually trap the tank in there, but it looks like 11 is a little bit short on cash. Isn't going to be able to quite get the trap on the tank there. Flak cannon coming up, but double, well, Tengu may actually be here as well, but double striker is going to be able to deal with that additional naval yard. I think this is just a safety measure from Dimon. I don't know that he actually wants to keep around both of those naval yards. And he does have the crane active, so he's got that much going for him. Stingray comes out. He's going to get the overcharge, but no, he doesn't get the overcharge. And it's going to be 2 more strikers coming in here to go for the kill on this flak cannon. A lot of strikers for 11. Whoa! Really close timing there, as that 1 striker barely does manage to survive. Dimon losing, taking some L's in this match in terms of being able to... Wait a second. Did he... He's just now getting the Crusher Crane, but I would have swore that he had 2 build queues going on there. Am I mistaken? Maybe that flak cannon actually did finish up. I may have been mistaken in that regard, but Crusher Crane coming up regardless anyways, and he actually crushes his own MCV, so Dimon going to be going for a happy with what he's got kind of approach to this match. He just wants the faster income, and it's straight up to tier 3 for 11, so he is looking to sit in this base, and he's just going to have that tier 3. He's got his Tengus, he's got his Strikers, he's going to be able to get the jump on that, well, no, he's not going to get the jump on that Terror Drone. And it's up to Dimon to kind of find the way forward. The kind of obvious move is to go tier 3 for yourself and to go V4s and try and get your V4s out faster. I think he was hoping to split up this map a little bit by utilizing the naval yards, by getting out some dreadnoughts maybe even, and instead he's refocused entirely onto the land war. So I assume an airfield is going to be coming up relatively soon, but on only 3 refineries, Dimon is going to have some difficulty actually keeping his numbers up when these engagements start happening. I mean, at the current moment, I guess neither player's lost very much, so you don't need... I can't believe the amount of walls. So you don't need a lot of income because you're not actually building that much, but these wall segments are actually just insane. Bear in the south may have actually just barely scouted those Tengus. It looks like a couple of bullfrogs getting pulled back from the front line, and of course this is a really annoying spot to be in as the Soviet player. Flak Cannons needs to switch over from the mines back to their anti-air guns, and they're going to be able to take out one of the Strikers. Looks like one of the hammer tanks went down as well. When this is the moment that 11 has been waiting for. Wave Force Artillery going to be able to snipe these units from a distance. Flak Cannons going down, but the Bullfrogs are back here, and this kind of a cliff is really difficult to deal with when you only have a small amount of anti-air, and your anti-air is entirely based on the ground. At least with MiGs, you can chase them, but this kind of an angle with the Strikers can be really difficult to defend against. Walls fall just as 11 gets out his Wave Force Artillery, and he is going to be happy with that timing, even going to go for the snipe on the observation post, which, as someone pointed out in a recent game, observation posts at one of the last patches for Red Alert 3 actually gave a buff to the health of observation posts, which is why they actually take so much damage. They're actually a really good damage sponge in a sense. Lovely lockdown by that Tesla Trooper, and he almost gets the lockdown on both of the additional Wave Force Artilleries. They split themselves, so they actually are going to be able to escape these Tesla Troopers. One of them is going to be able to snipe the Tesla Trooper, while the other one just stays out of range of the Trooper. Walls go back up as the King Oni comes back online. And look at that, just strategically selling off those walls, rebuilding them when necessary. Terror Drone sneaks around the north side of the map. Dimon may have to play a bit of defense instead of playing offense. He may be able to sneak something in here with this Terror Drone. I think he was assuming that a 4th refinery had been taken, but the 4th refinery is actually down here on the water, not back out there. And Dimon is going to be disappointed by that finding. Once again, Dimon still just sitting at these 3 refineries. He hasn't really taken a lot of damage. Gets the infect on that Wave Force Artillery. Lovely catch and kill there. Gets the engineer as well. Pretty much perfect hit and run kind of execution. Loses 1 hammer tank. Totally worth it for the stuff that he just traded. And he's going to pick up a Striker VX as well. Twin Blade comes in. Twin Blade goes down as that Harvester survives the harassment. The wall segments perhaps even causing some problems for these King Onis, causing them to kind of be choked upon themselves. And actually the mines coming in to do some extra damage. 2 flak troopers getting some additional mines. And this 11 guy is, on one hand, he had a great setup for the first 5 minutes of the game. On the other hand, he's actually having trouble getting out of his own base. The thing that he's supposed to be able to do is, you know, play defensive and get the army comp that he wants, and then, you know, get out on the map and do something with it. But he literally can't leave his own base. He has built a prison of his own hands. And oh my gosh, if this MCV gets sniped by the flak troopers, Oh my gosh, what a move here by Dimon. He sends in the parachutes, and he's going to go for the FCV. He gets one extra mine, one more. He gets it. The FCV goes down, and Dimon with the plays. The stolen Wave Force hammer tank is going toe-to-toe with the forces. Goes fully heroic. Dimon, you absolute madman. He tried to force you to play by his rules, and then he realized he wasn't trapped inside. He was trapped inside with Dimon. It's not that Dimon was trapped inside with him. He has built his cage, and now he must live in it. It's not over. This is still a 4-refinery Empire player who's fully teched up, who has got himself a pretty good setup. Not a very harassy Empire player, which some people really hate the strong use of Tengus, and I totally get it. When you're playing against an Empire player and all they do is spam out 64 Tengus and then just, send them individually down everywhere on the map, it can be very annoying to play against, but I mean, I don't know that it's a good idea to do none of that. Maybe there's a middle ground where you do some Tengu harass, but it's not the only thing you do. Wave Force Artillery forming up. Oh man, Dimon with this one hero, truly hero in every sense of the word. Oh no, he steps forward, he's gonna get jumped on. He can outrange regular Wave Force Artillery because he's heroic. I didn't even think about that. He actually has an advantage, an artillery advantage, and he hasn't built a single V4. Dimon, the madman in this match. Oh, Wave Force Artillery, hammer tank gonna go down. It gets jumped on by the Tengus. It gets sniped. This is a huge commitment from pretty much every unit that isn't a King Oni or a Wave Force Artillery, and it may have been worth it. 11 committing so much to that attack, and now he's actually just going to get sniped because he has no anti-air. He committed too much to the attack. If only Dimon had 2 or 3 more Twin Blades, this would be even more devastating damage. Snipes both of the Wave Force Artillery. One striker comes on out, but he may even get another Harvester as well. Dimon, he has been trapped on his side of the map, but he's been doing a pretty good job of just doing what little he can. A Terror Drone here, a Stasis up here, and even a couple of Twin Blades sneaking in the north here, while a Terror Drone sneaks in down there. So Dimon has been doing what he can. A sneaky Dojo Core. This is not a sudden transport disguised as a Dojo Core, but it's almost better or worse than a sudden transport. I mean, at the very least, he can literally deploy an engineer right onto the front line. Dimon sees it. Okay, yes, Dimon does see it, and he's got the 2 Twin Blades there. This is a very low commitment defense here from Dimon. Just a couple of Twin Blades, able to take that down. And we see the result of this build and of this 3-refinery economy. Ooh, trades 2 hammer tanks, gets the cash back, gets a Terror Drone as well. Anyways, we see the result of this economy of Dimon's. If he had been able to get out that 4th refinery, he would have either been able to go tier 3 at this point, or he would have way more Twin Blades, even with the hammer tank army and ground forces that he has currently. 11, I really liked the way this guy opened this game, but I can't really say that I like anything that he's done after the first 5 minutes because he just hasn't done anything. So for me to have an opinion on something that he has done after the first 5-minute mark, he would have had to have done something for me to have an opinion on. But in this case, 11, I really dug the opening. I was loving what he was putting down. But it's kind of just been Dimon's game since then, and if Dimon loses this match from this point, it's sort of like the guy who just sat there for 20 minutes won the game. And unfortunately, Dimon, because he crushed his MCV early on, I think he was much more worried about the Empire threat, and so his 4th refinery exceedingly late. If he had been able to, if Dimon had known how this game was going to progress, he would have taken that 4th refinery much earlier, probably have taken a 5th refinery and played a little bit more to the harass advantage But as we all saw, Dimon was so focused on that ground defense. We saw him trying to, waste some money up here, and then at the same time building up an almost entirely ground-based army, and then he got to a point where he was like, wait a second, you're just not doing anything. And Dimon had kind of played into his hand in the overall strategy and realized a little bit too late that there had been really some opportunities for Dimon to diversify a little earlier and maybe do more damage because of how limited 11 has been in this match. But that being said, Dimon has taken a 4th refinery. He has sniped a number of harvesters and even sniping this refinery here on the low ground, putting the Empire player back onto... Why are these Wave Force artillery separating from their anti-air components? There's so many twin blades on this map. Why would you ever do this? Is this going to be the easiest catch of a double Wave Force artillery? And the MiGs are going to have to sacrifice themselves against the Tengus, but that's better than the twin blades going down. And actually they don't. The Tengus don't really go for the pursuit. And the Terror Drone jumps inside of the Striker. The Striker is going to be able to get the repairs nice and easy there, although it got dangerously close to going down. Another snipe of a Harvester. Tengus clean up. No, they don't even get a single Twin Blade there. They got a MiG earlier, but they don't get a single Twin Blade as recompense for that Harvester. Maybe it's time to take a 5th refinery. I'm not actually sure. Wave Force artillery and strikers can make taking that 5th refinery location difficult, but Dimon might need the economic edge a little bit more in his favor because of the army that 11 was able to build up over the course of this game. It's still going to be a tough nut to crack, but Dimon has the forces. It'll just be if 11 is able to pull something amazing out of this engagement. Dimon's got the Tesla Troopers, he's got the Terror Drone Surprise, so he can potentially cause some problems for 11 in the middle of the battle. 11 could still take this. If he takes the main fight, he can maybe roll that, domino style into a win in the game. But right on the face of it, Dimon is just dominating this game, and it feels, based on their performance so far, it's almost not even a fair fight at this point. But 11 still does have a powerful army. One King Oni getting caught out. There's going to be the lockdown. He walks right into it. He doesn't even pull back, and Dimon is he's just getting free damage. This is like literally not even a fight. It's just Dimon. He's getting the bull rush right through the Tesla Troopers, and he gets onto the hammer tank lines. Now, one hammer tank does actually have a King Oni arm attached to it, or head, so that he can actually fire those lasers. And that bull rush actually does do a good job of breaking this entire army up. Twin Blades are still here. The MiGs need to clean out the Tengus, and the Strikers are being dealt with by the Hammer Tanks. The King Onis turn around. There's the transform of the Tengus as the skies get cleared, and a Wave Force artillery comes out of nowhere. I don't actually know where that guy came from at all, and the Twin Blades are here to clean up the rest. The King Onis have crushed the Hammer Tanks, but where are the MiGs, the defense of these Twin Blades? Finally, the Tengus get slaughtered, but there's only 3 or 4 Twin Blades left, and the cleanup on these King Onis might be a little bit slow, although no, they're all really low on health. I think maybe one Hammer Tank survived that entire engagement, and it's actually a sudden transport and not even a Hammer Tank. Last King Oni goes down. The army's mostly evaporating, but the Striker VX is not going to be able to respond. The MiGs really laying down on the job here. The MiGs of Dimon have not been stellar this match. Again, that sudden transport there, but might even go for the kill on that. There's the fire sale, the sell-off of everything, and 11 is going to call this match done. The GG gets called, and 11 really falling apart there. Dimon making maybe some positional mistakes, but it's sort of like after playing, very well for 19, 20 minutes, I don't know, 15, 18 minutes, Dimon made some positioning mistakes, but still he had the advantage in the match overall. And even with his positioning mistakes, he was still clearly winning that fight. And that will do it for this game. Definitely a mixed bag on this one. Some incredible plays by Dimon, and honestly, this match is worth it just for the Dimon performance, and not so much for the Empire side of things. Again, I loved the build-up. I loved the potential that I saw from that Empire play right at the start, and then, yeah, just nothing. Anyways, that'll do it for this game, for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert, signing out.